A 23-year-old woman was throwing up uncontrollably for 2 years until doctors finally discovered that she had cannabis hyperemesis syndrome, or CHS, as you've heard me talk about on this channel before. Now, a lot of people don't seem to believe that it's a real thing. So let's quickly look into this article that was published yesterday. You see her throwing up right there, right? So this woman is 23 years old, not that old, has diabetes, and had nausea and vomiting for 2 years. And their symptoms seem to only subside when they took a hot shower or a hot bath, right? And then she would keep going to the ER and had symptoms of nausea, abdominal pain, throwing up uncontrollably, and had no clue what the heck is actually causing this. Over time, when she told them what was relieving those symptoms, what was causing relief for those symptoms, it sounded a lot like what we know today as CHS, or cannabis hyperemesis syndrome. So in this article that came across my desk yesterday, I really started to think about how many other people out there who are caught in this vicious loop. I mean, it took her 2 years to figure this out. It's not that complicated. If you are feeling symptoms of nausea, abdominal pain, or other issues, you should start eliminating things out of your daily habits, right? That includes your diet, that includes weed. Of course, when you do it daily, that's part of your diet. It's no longer, something you do casually. It's something that you do every day. It's a regular diet for you. So it's worth eliminating. Now, why am I even talking about this? Because this is a topic that I actually hear about more and more from the community. And this issue has started popping up more and more as we see that cannabis is becoming, or weed is becoming, very popular everywhere, right? Every state is looking to try to do some sort of legalization, whether it's in the medicinal realm or whether it's recreational. It doesn't really matter. Weed's becoming really popular, as you all know. And I think as weed becomes more popular, we're going to see more and more people that are going to struggle with what this 23-year-old woman was struggling with, which is CHS. And I've personally struggled with something like this several years ago. Like when I first got into weed, I thought it was the best thing ever, and I started consuming it every single day. I started with vape pens, which is distillate oil, and then I over time moved into, dabs, because they were really like more efficient for some reason, right? They're also very strong and potent. I thought that they were a really clean way to get high. Over time, when I started using the concentrates, I started to notice that I was actually experiencing some of the similar symptoms. I would wake up in the morning and I would have nausea. I would have stomach pain. And I knew that nausea is actually helped by smoking weed, right? So I would consume more weed and I would be in this sort of loop of like, okay, the only thing that's helping my nausea is getting high, but not realizing that this is actually what is also causing me. I'm having some sort of toxicity build up in my system where I've no longer been able to process it properly, and it's causing this issue. I was grateful that my mom, who's in the medical industry, when I told her about some of these symptoms, she let me know that there were actually cases in the ER of young people coming in who were having these same symptoms, and doctors would do a blood panel on them, they do a full test, and they had no idea what would be causing it, because this is like, hey, this person is pretty healthy. Like, we don't know why they're experiencing this, until that person would share that also they're a chronic weed user. And because of that, they were experiencing these symptoms similar to what this woman is experiencing. So I'm just kind of talking about this right now because I have a feeling that there are many of you out there who are using weed way too much. And this doesn't happen to everybody. I'm sure there's an underlying genetic factor to it. It has something to do with your body type and your habits in general. Like, this person is diabetic. I'm not too sure how much that plays into the picture because, obviously that means you don't have the perfect system for processing, food. And so maybe that has something to do with it. I know that I was using at the time way too much of the concentrated stuff, but it can still happen with flower. I think some of it also has to do with how the flower was grown, how it was taken care of, which could be another factor. And I'm just really putting this out there because if you're someone who loves weed like I do, you should still be aware of the negative consequences that it could cause for you. This is not to like put shade on weed. I'm not saying it's bad. I still love it. I still use it, but I also understand the downsides of using it too much, and also recognizing what downside it creates in my life if I do it all the time, if I don't do it with any sort of purpose or intention, and I'm just getting high all day. So, take it from me. If you're out there, if you know someone who is maybe feeling these kinds of symptoms, maybe consider taking a significant break. Like, this person had to completely quit. At what point do you have to completely quit weed? You have to really realize that might be an option for you, and it might be the only option moving forward for you to have a healthy lifestyle, because maybe your body just simply cannot process having too much weed. So I want to put that out there for anybody who might be interested in learning about this is also a possible side effect of weed. I hope it helps you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you know someone that's gone through it, and let's help each other get better with everything that we do in life, especially around cannabis and weed consumption. See you next time.